Samantha from As They Grow Up, and we are on week number 3 with the Virtual Homeschool Co-op. And I'm going to put more information about the Virtual Homeschool Co-op down in the description below, but basically it's a collaboration of homeschool bloggers and vloggers. So you don't have to just be on YouTube, but if you're a blogger as well, you can join. So once again, I'm going to put the link down below on that. But the question of the week is, how do you use reading lists in your homeschool, or do you use a reading list? To answer that is yes and no. I have used reading lists in the past because of Davis's curriculum. Davis is in the 4th grade now. But in the past, we have used Sunlight. And so anyone who's familiar with that knows that they have a reading list of read-alouds as well as their own reading. So we've kind of followed that. We haven't necessarily read all of the books on that list as we went per year, but we have followed that in the past. As of right now, do I use a reading list? I don't. Because over time, even though Sunlight has a wonderful collection of recommended reading, I found that a lot of it wasn't keeping his attention or wanting him to read more. It wasn't encouraging him to read more because it wasn't quite maybe what he was wanting to read, or it may have been a little over his head, or maybe not a topic he was interested in. So what I've started doing is, based on our studies that we are currently doing, I research and create a list of books. And I do that based on each child's writing preference, their style of reading preference, I should say. Davis likes a lot of nonfiction, so he's big on the nonfiction, and that's great. So with him, a lot of times, you know, if we're studying the Civil War or the Revolutionary War or any part of history, actually, we have a wide collection of the who was, when was, those types of books. He loves these. And not only does he love these, but Luke loves these. And so these are great, and they're easy to read, and so he can read these. And is what I do with these books, because this is more for their school reading. These are books that I want them to read to go along with what we're currently learning. And with these, I usually say 15 pages a day, Monday through Friday. Weekends are free, but that doesn't mean that it's sometimes not picked up to be read. But that's how I usually use those. Now, as far as reading for enjoyment, because I do feel that they need to find that love of reading. And it's so very important to be able to do that. And so I let them choose the books that they want to read. Davis actually just finished The Secrets of Ruling School. And he really, really liked this book. And this is wrote like a lot of the Diary of a Wimpy Kid books, which he loves. And so this was a great hit for him, and he finished this in no time flat. And because he enjoys reading it, he'll read it for his time that I ask him to read, which is 30 minutes a day. But a lot of times at night, instead of watching, say, 30 minutes of TV, he'll turn the TV off and he'll pick up the book because he loves to read it. Another, a couple of other books we have been reading this month are Popper's Penguins and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I mean, these are both, we're doing these as read-alouds because Luke has been enjoying those, and he's only in 1st grade, so he can't read these on his own. So we've really been enjoying these. So how big is our book list? Well, as I mentioned, we don't really have a book list. So I do ask, though, that they read 30 minutes a day, because as most of you know, that with the chapter books, some of the chapters are really long and some are really short. And I know my boys, and if I say read a chapter, and that chapter just so happens that day to be 1 page, then that's all they're going to read is 1 page. And so I found that 30 minutes is a sufficient amount of time. Plus, I've noticed that with Davis, when his 30 minutes is up, if he's not finished with that chapter, he will go ahead and finish that chapter so he can wrap up that 30 minutes. So sometimes it's a little longer than 30 minutes. Do we reward or give incentives to read? I don't really reward reading because I feel that it's not really a chore. It's a way of learning. So I really don't. We do use the Pizza Hut We do sign up for that. And, you know, my husband always gives me a hard time because he always like, why do you sign up for it? I do admit I forget to use it a lot, but we do sign up for it. And when we do remember it, we use it because we do get our reading time in. And if, you know, so it's not like a big reward that they're looking forward to, because it's so random that we use it. It's not something that's going to keep them wanting to read so that they can get that reward. We also use the Six Flags. They have a reading rewards program as well. Once again, it's not something that we're definitely going to use every year. But at the end of every year, if they've met that reading goal, then they get a free ticket to Six Flags. So that's kind of a nice incentive. It's not something that that's not a reason that they read, because this past year we didn't even use it. So basically it's nice to have it if we do choose to use it, but as far as a reward of great job you've read, not really so much. The next question is, do you quiz for comprehension? Yes and no. We talk about it more so. When Davis reads a book, I'll ask him about it and things like that. I've noticed that usually I can tell if he's understanding what he's reading or if he isn't. So when he's really getting what he's reading, he keeps reading. When he's not really understanding what he's reading, or he's not comprehending what's actually in that text, it's more of a I have to read today type thing. So, you know, that kind of gives me a feel, and that's also how I gauge the books that we use. We do keep on our bookshelves, which are all over the house. We've got so many bookshelves full of books. They are free to pull any books they want to pull for reading. I research, I have purchased classics. We have newer books like this one, or this one, which is one of Luke's favorites. So we have a variety of books. We have fiction, we have nonfiction, we have easy reads, we have longer in-depth reads, and they are free. When it's their 30 minutes required reading time, they can pick any book off the shelf that they want to start, and they read it until it's finished. So they have a wide variety of books to choose from, and I think that really helps encourage them to read. If we do, as far as what they read, I always ask their opinions because I want to give them books that they want to read. For example, Luke is a beginner reader, so he's in first grade. Now, most of his books I read with him. We have the read alouds, which once again, Mr. Popper's Penguin and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, those are some of the ones we've done this month as far as read alouds. But we also, for him to read, we do level 1 readers, and I have a huge selection of level 1 and level 2 readers from when Davis was his age. We also do the Bob books and other things, and we also, like for Luke, as I mentioned, he likes the comic book style books, and these are great. I actually discovered these with Timberdoodle's website, and we have really been adding to our collection of these. And this one is I can't remember if this one is a level 1 or not, but they are leveled. So when you buy these, they are leveled, level 1, level 2, and they're more in depth, but it has the comic book feel. So these are really neat, and I get these off of Amazon, and they just love these. Luke does. It's really cute. And then, like, for example, Davis, I mean, yeah, he likes, as I mentioned, he reads a lot of nonfiction. And so while he loves reading history, I still like to throw in even this one because, you know, they're thin, and, you know, they're set back in the time based on what era we're studying. So basically that's it. So, and if we have a reading list or not. Thank you so much for tuning in, and if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Thank you.